I don't think we ever truly move on. I think we move forward in growth. So by moving forward, if you feel anxious, if you say, I need help, I need to seek therapy, or in any other case, I need to seek medication, that's you moving forward. That's you being strong, you know? Hello everyone, welcome back to our video. Hello. And welcome back to today's podcast. Today we're going to be touching up on the subject of 5 things not to tell grieving parents. And it is so important to inform people out there.
Yes.
So we're just going to go ahead and dive in and tell you guys from our experiences of constantly or every now and then hearing these. So let's just go straight into the first one. And
Wait. So if this is your first time here, please subscribe. Yeah, you gotta do all that.
Oh gosh, yes.
Yeah. My name's Alfredo, and this is Brithzy. If this is your first time on this channel, welcome.
Yes.
If you feel led to subscribing, please subscribe. On this channel, we talk about conversations based off things that we have been through.
Right. Okay, so let's dive into these points and what not to tell grieving parents. Now, the first one is to never say, I know how you feel, when you don't. Okay, now.
Or I understand how you feel.
Yes, unless you've personally lost a child, you will not understand how this parent feels. You will never, ever understand. And perhaps you've lost a cousin, a sibling, a pet, whatever it may be, but you know, it's not to invalidate your own hurt. I know losing a loved one still hurts, but it is so important to not compare your pain.
Yeah, don't do the comparison thing. Even on our end, I'm not here trying to belittle other people's loss, and by saying, oh, I lost, my only child, so I know how you feel, because I really don't know how it is on your end. Even if it's relatable in some way, like, don't try to figure that out, because at the end of the day, we all have different kind of pain.
Wow.
We don't feel the same way.
Yeah, that's
especially
a good point.
If that is not the journey you walk through.
Right. That's such a good point, because even if you know someone who lost a child and you also have lost a child, you still kind of can't compare, because it's totally different, and people go through grief differently, and it's just a little selfish to compare, because these parents have probably never experienced losing a child.
Absolutely.
And even then, if you've lost a child once and you lose it again, it still hurts so profoundly.
I understand the intention behind it, to find some type of level of comfort, but it's not for us to, we don't know how it feels.
Right.
Even if someone went through the same situation like us with Abel, I still don't know how it feels on their end, because everyone has their own world or their own level. So I get the comfort, but what would you say would be a better approach than I know how you feel?
The easiest one would be, I don't understand, but I'm here for you. I think that's the easiest
thing. That's better than I know how you feel.
Yeah, be like, I don't understand you.
Yeah.
And I don't understand your pain, but I'm here for you.
For sure. These are going to be really helpful things. Again, these are things that we've encountered. These are things that we've been through. So this is from our own learning. We can only speak about what we've heard, what we've been through, but I know there's people out there that can relate to all these.
Absolutely.
So the second one is, at least they're in a better place.
Oh gosh, yeah. This one drives me crazy.
Why does it drive you crazy? Let's bring that out first.
Just the 2 words by themselves, at least. I think there's, at least it's just like, it's trying to bring comfort. I get it. But there's no like, at least in losing a child,
Yeah.
It's no pretty. There's no at least. There's nothing. It's ugly. I know Abel is in a better place. We know that. We have that hope that one day we will be reunited with him. And we have peace and gratitude that he is with Jesus and the most beautiful place ever. And we do have that hope of one day reuniting all together. But that's still like here on earth, we still hurt. You know, although Abel's not hurting no longer.
We're hurting.
We are. We're broken. You know, we feel every human experience that comes with heartbreak and losing a child, you know. And so no at least will take away the desire of longing to have him in my arms here on this earth, you know.
That's the trash.
Yes, that's our.
The trash company.
Yes.
Or what do you call it?
Yeah. Sanitation. But
disregard that sound. No, yeah, that makes total sense. I think, you know, just with the start, at least you're already belittling it right there. Because, you know, it's not at least. It's you know.
I just lost my child.
Yeah, I lost that light in me. What would you say is a better approach than at least you're in a better place, or at least they're in a better place? What is a better approach than that?
Yeah, I would just say, I know you're hurting, and I know it hurts. And that's it. No, at least. And you're right there, you're validating. It's like kind of sweeping it under the rug. Like, oh, at least he's in a better place. No, talk to me. Okay, now we're moving on to...
This is probably the most frustrating one for me.
And it's probably one of the most heartbreaking ones, too, I feel.
Honestly, and especially because we just encountered that, too.
Yes, it's just one of the most uncomfortable
And it happens
things.
A lot.
Yes, it happens very frequently, and I know to others, too. So, it is a quote, "You're still young. You could have more kids."
Or, when are you going to have more kids? Like that in itself.
Okay. First, let's talk about pressure. Come on.
Well,
how much pressure does that add?
And it's like, wait, you don't get to ask that.
No.
I'm still trying to bring back to life what I lost in me.
Wow.
So you're telling me, like, just because you moved on doesn't mean I moved on.
Right.
And I walked the walk. So you're still young. You can have more kids. Absolutely. But I still lost that very thing in me that I'm still grieving. So
right. You're still
that's
healing.
Very inconsiderate.
It is very inconsiderate. Just putting that out there. It's a very selfish question to ask, especially those who went through something traumatic like we did. You know, we had a long 3-year battle with Abel and constantly in and out of the hospital. And even during grief, we experienced a lot of anxiety and depression. And, you know, for some people, that could be a trigger. It could really take you back to whether if you had a preterm labor, your baby, you know, you had a emergency C-section, and it triggers all those memories that you yourself are still trying to process through. So when someone asks you, when are you gonna have more kids? What do you mean? I'm still trying to heal. I know I will get there if I want to get there.
Like, you weren't there at the surgery table. You weren't there when the doctor said, hey, you're having issues with your pregnancy. Like, I'm still trying to get past that.
Yes.
Like, are you considering that, or are you just bypassing everything I went through and just straight, when are you having more kids?
No, and it's truly very selfish, because what if someone doesn't want to have more children, and they've had to come through a really hard process of making that decision, you know, and someone asks them that, and they instantly feel guilty because of the decision they made, you know. But as far as for us, we do plan on having more children, and we very much look forward to that one day. And the kids we will have are not replacement children, because there will forever be a void in our family.
For sure.
And I will forever look at our family as incomplete because Abel isn't here.
I'm very intentional and mindful about my feelings. So I'm not just jumping into the next blessing just because that's what I want for myself. I have to pay attention to what God wants from me. And that means become not becoming more unstable, that means seeking help,
right,
healing,
yes,
and feeling, and really being real about how you feel.
Right. That's a good point.
And yes, we're young. Yes, we can have more children, but that's not the point. The point is I'm still broken and I'm still getting through this. So
right.
I think a better approach than when are you going to have more children? Well, first of all, don't even ask that.
Yeah, it's like none of your business. With all due respect, it is nobody's business.
I'm not asking
like
people.
That really bothers me. Even when people ask to people who haven't lost a child. You know, let's say someone gets married barely, and then they're already asking, "Where are you guys gonna have kids?" You know, it's none of
ridiculous.
Your business. Yeah,
it's like, I think for people like us, our situation that lost a child and still doesn't have another child.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think a better approach would be, if it comes into a position where the conversation is about kids or just that type of scenario, a better approach would be, I know you guys are still grieving and I know you guys are still in pain, but I want you to know, you know, just some encouragement. God has not
forgotten about you.
You guys, your time will come.
Yeah, there you go. And it's all in the tone of how you deliver it, because there's some that can sound very condescending and when just it does, interrogating.
Yeah, and when it does come from someone that you for sure feel off about what they're saying, their body language and the way they're saying it, you have to take it for who it comes from.
Actually, I want to add a sticky note to that last point.
Go for it.
Also, keep in mind, you can have more kids. That quote is not always true for everyone, because some people might not be able to have more children.
Yeah, you don't know.
So just be very mindful. And honestly, like, I would not even ask somebody that. So just, I'll leave it as that.
We said 5 things not to tell a grieving parent, but we have a bonus one at the end. So just stay tuned for that.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, thank you if you guys are still listening.
Yeah.
But you want to read the next one?
Yeah. So the next point is, what can I do for you? That question.
Help me understand that one, because that one was a little tricky for me.
I remember. Okay, so.
And I asked so they can understand.
Yeah. Okay. So this is such a broad and general question. So when you are in the early stages of grieving, or even in, like, you know, years have passed or months have passed, it's still such a broad question, because you're already trying to process what you feel.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're trying to process that pain and this new life that you have entered unwillingly. You were just thrown into it, right? And so when someone comes to you like, what can I do for you? It's like, you know, it's automatically overwhelming. For me, it was, because I'm trying to process what I feel, and now I have to figure out what you could do for me. So instead, you know, let's say I was just a friend of yours, right? And you're grieving. I would say, hey, can I bring you dinner tomorrow? You know, be more specific. Or I plan on mowing your lawn this weekend. You know, just a heads up.
So more intentionality.
Yes, more intentional and less general, you know, like, what can I do for you?
That makes sense.
So, you know, and especially...
why is that question overwhelming for you?
Well, it's like, I don't even know how to help myself. So how am I supposed to figure out how you're supposed to help me?
Like, you're asking yourself, what can I do for me?
Yes.
But you don't even have that answer.
Right. And now I have to figure out what you could do for me. And I get it. There's simple stuff like dishes. But, like, when you're, like, fresh into grief, it's like your brain is clouded. You know, you don't know how to ask for help or what area to ask for help in, you know?
So, yeah, that's where it gets tough, because it's like, how do you balance if you're such in a clouded place, but society says the people that are in the cloudy place have to reach out and get out of it? Like, how do you do that?
With all due respect, I think that's very selfish. Because, okay, I'm in this cloudy place, right? But I'm just so broken, so hurt, angry, whatever. how can I take myself out of there? You need a village that will help you, that you can lean on to get you out of there. Yeah, and I get you, our hands are tied. Some people will say that our hands are tied. Well, I don't know what to tell you. Mine are tied, bro. I'm stuck. I'm hurting. I'm angry.
Yeah. I mean,
set your stuff to the side and just help me. I don't care. You could come over and just sit down, keep me company. You don't even have to talk. Just literally sit down and watch TV with me. There will probably be a lot of people offering you help in the beginning stages of grief. And as time passes, it stops. For example, we are now in a year has passed.
Yeah.
Well, that's crazy. Almost.
That is crazy.
We're going to 2 years next March, but still a long time.
I don't remember 2020. I'll be honest with you.
I know it's all a blur, but I would definitely encourage you, if you know a family who has lost someone, a child specifically, and a year has passed, 5 months have passed, 6 months have passed, is to keep being there for them, keep being their support system, because a lot of times just people just assume a year has passed, so they're fine, you know?
We assume we're already at this certain stage of grief where we've already surpassed all the other stuff.
Right.
So eventually you get to a certain length of time, people either start walking out or start to just kind of, you don't hear about people anymore. Like in the heat of the moment, everybody's there.
Right.
Everybody's at the funeral. Everybody's like, oh, we're here, we're there. And
you know, and they see you, they're like, oh, he's smiling. I see them laughing. I think they're fine. You know, they're over it.
Yeah, that's what's...
But
like, who decides that? Who decides that a year means you're healed now or you're at a better place?
Right.
Like, you might not be.
No, and it's not fair for those who say that. But
yeah.
Anyways.
The next one. Let go. It's time to move on. It's time to get over it. It's time to just give it to God. And yeah, I don't even... These stuff makes me angry.
I know, these things really upset me.
But we have to talk about these things so we can help those that are going through this. Or
no, yeah, it just upsets me because... Or
people that are not going through it, so you guys get an understanding of what it is on our end.
Right. And it could be like, these statements can just make us feel like super uncomfortable and awkward. And not only that, but anything that implies get over it, that just adds unnecessary pain on top of what we already feel. You know? So it's like, what on earth do we have left than the most precious treasure that we've lost? What is there more to let go of? You know? It's our duty to keep their memory alive. So what do you mean let go of? I already let go of it. Physically, I already let go of my child. And you're complaining that I need more to let go of?
So then what if they say, well, we're talking about like let go of your anxiety, your PTSD.
And I've had people tell us that. Like, no, you can't feel anxiety. That's not from God.
You just gotta pray.
You just have to pray it away. If you have anxiety, then God's really not in your life. You can't go through PTSD because you're young. You'll get over it. Your immune system, I don't know, somehow immune system comes up with talking about anxiety. But sorry, I think that's very insensitive to state, because we didn't willingly choose to go through what we went through. And because we are on this broken earth, we will have troubled times. And, you know, not trying to compare, I'm not going to say that because it's so different. The hospital to us was our war zone, right? The army soldiers, they have their own, well, they have the war zone themselves, but to us, it was a constant fight, a constant battle. And I mean, there was many traumatizing things that we saw, like our child losing their life time and time again, coding. And that, as a mom, as a dad, gives us anxiety. So what do you mean I'm just supposed to forget the past 3 years? You know, I'm going to feel anxious. Can God heal me? Absolutely. But I think this is part of my story that I have to walk through. I don't think we ever truly move on. I think we move forward in growth. So by moving forward, if you feel anxious, if you say, I need help, I need to seek therapy, or in any other case, I need to seek medication, that's you moving forward. That's you being strong, you know? And what do you mean it's time to move on? I'm never going to move on from losing my child.
Yeah.
I'm moving forward with God's help, but it's not something I could just forget, you know? So the next point, not to tell someone who's grieving, a grieving parent, is stay strong or be strong. You should never tell a parent who just lost their child how they should feel.
Or to be strong.
Yes, you should not tell them you have to be strong. Your child will want you to stay strong.
I've been strong for the past years.
Yes.
I've been having to stay strong.
Yes, this is the moment where you do not at all have to remain strong or be strong or stay strong. It's okay to need to lean on your family or friends or your significant other. It's okay to cry. It's okay to yell. It's okay to be angry. You know, you do not have to stay strong or be strong.
It's okay to not be okay.
Word. It's really okay. And, you know, you have every right to do whatever to help you relieve some of that pain, whether it's crying, like I mentioned, watching TV, laying in bed all day. It's okay not to be strong. I mean, after all, you lost your whole world. And people usually say that for their own comfort. So if I tell you, be strong, Fredo, you're strong, you could do this. Isn't that just for my comfort? So I don't have to hear your pain, and so I won't feel
your weakness,
any awkwardness, or of what not to say or what to say. No.
To be strong, I think a better approach is it's okay to not be okay.
That is so
literally
true. Yeah.
And that it's okay if you don't feel strong today. And then the other part that I didn't mention, it's time to move on. A better approach would be it's okay if you're still holding on. In my opinion. And
wow.
Have a question for you before we end this video.
Yeah.
And just more of an update question, but if you could sit in front of your version of grief when you first started, prematurely, what would you say to that Brithzy coming into grief right now and your knowledge of grief?
Yeah. That's something so sensitive because I look at pictures. Obviously we always take a lot of pictures, and I sometimes can't even see those pictures of me a year ago because I just see a broken little girl. You know, the child in me was broken, and the first thing I would say is you're literally feeling like you're dying inside, but you will make it through. You will be okay. Because the anxiety that I felt last year was just truly, I could not bear it.
For sure.
And I almost wanted just to run, and I didn't even know where I wanted to run. But I just did not want to feel that anymore. And I would just say, no, it hurts a lot. It's going to hurt a lot. It's going to hurt like hell. But you will walk through it day by day, and you will be okay. Because sometimes you just need that assurance. I'm okay. I'm okay. I will be okay. I'm having a rough day, but I will be okay. This season is not forever. in this season, just don't define your story. Better is coming. God has good in store for you, because sometimes you feel like there's no more good in this world. The worst thing that could happen happened to me. But there's still good. God
I'm so proud of you for seeing it that way. Just to hear you even say that is a lot, because I know the depths of what it's been outside of videos, like
right,
like really where no one's watching. I've seen that side and seen how far God has brought you in grief. We're definitely in a better place,
all right, compared to last year.
Way better place, but still going through it for sure. I can say we're exercising different scenarios. We're putting ourselves in uncomfortable places, and then when we know we can't bear it, we just be realistic and set those boundaries. And yeah, I mean, I think we're definitely in a healthier place,
right?
And yeah, I don't know if you wanted to say anything else.
I think you touched up on all the things, and we are still going through grief, and we will forever go through grief. You know, we just learn how to cope with it, and we just learn how to move forward and not move on. So if you guys enjoy this video, please let us know down below. And if you would like to hear more videos of any topic of grief, marriage, whatever it may be, just let us know down below, and we'll be more than happy to make these videos for y'all. Yes. And we absolutely love conversations like these that are real and just vulnerable and raw. But that's it for today's video, you guys. Thank you all so much for listening to us and for watching this video. And please stay tuned for more. Hit the bell button so you don't miss out on any future videos. And
subscribe. Like the video. And send this to somebody that is going through grief, or someone that's not. We just want to be a voice to people that are grieving, parents, siblings, whoever is grieving out there. We just want to be a voice, and hope we were able to do that today. Yes. So we will see you guys next time. We love y'all.
I love you guys.
That's it.
Bye, y'all.